Welcome to Sharon Lindsay Yoga and Wellbeing. Today's class is going to focus on our calves and our ankles. These often overlooked areas of the body are very important for our mobility and for our balance. So today we're going to focus on releasing tension in the calves and the ankles. We can often hold a lot of tension, particularly in the calves. Also, we're going to improve strength and flexibility in these areas. So to begin, we're going to sit, if you can, and this is not for everyone, so feel free to skip it if it's not for you. We're going to kneel down. So we're going to kneel like this, with the backs of the thighs on the calves. Now you can place, if this is not comfortable, maybe on your knees, you can have a cushion. So you might have a cushion on top of your calves and you sit down on the cushion. But if that still doesn't work for you, then feel free just to sit comfortably while we connect with our breath. The other thing I find is if my feet are together, my heels roll out to the side. So by widening my legs a little bit, I'm better able to keep my feet straight so the heels don't roll out to the side too much. They might still roll out, but I'm trying to avoid that, and then I feel more of a stretch up the front of the legs. So this should be a gentle, comfortable stretch. If it becomes uncomfortable, please feel free to move out of the posture. And then just sit up tall and relax the shoulders. Maybe close your eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then just breathe in and out through the nose if you can. Noticing the sensations, they might be building a little. Will be coming out in just a moment. And when you're ready, bring your hands forward, lift your hips, and then give your legs, give your feet a little shake, maybe circle the ankles a little. And then we're going to put our toes on the mat. So you might find that the pinky toe and perhaps even the toe next to it are trying to curl back the way. If you can, bring all toes forward so the pads of the toes are on the ground. Stay on your hands for just a moment, and this might already be quite intense. If this is enough, just stay here. You're just sinking your weight back towards your heels. But if you don't feel very much, you can come all the way up and allow your weight to sit down on your heels for a little toe squat. Now, as I say, this can be quite intense, so be gentle on yourself. Move forward if you need to. Bring your hands down if you need to take your weight forward. And just breathe. Trying to breathe into your tummy and your ribs. So as you breathe in, the tummy and rib cage expand, and as you breathe out, they get smaller as the breath leaves the body. Two more full breaths if you're comfortable. And then just move forward, place your hands on the mat and give your feet a little shake. Maybe circle the feet, circling into the ankles. And then we're going to come down to sitting with our legs extended out in front of us. So sitting up tall, and then just point your toes and feel that stretch in the front of the ankles and feel the calves engage as you point your toes forward, and then flex the toes back towards your body. Now, if your if you don't have a lot of flexibility in the back of your legs and your knees are bent, that's okay. As long as you can feel something nice, let's flex the feet and then point the feet and breathe and feel the sensations. It's a very mindful movement. As with everything in yoga, we're not just flinging our feet about mindlessly. We're really focusing on what we feel. Point the toes. And then one last time, let's flex. And then you can lean back on your hands, bring one leg, one ankle up onto your thigh, and then take hold of that foot and just circle it in one direction. You can press the foot back to point your toes and then press the foot forward to flex your toes, and then circle the other way. And then let's swap legs. So extend this leg long and then bring the other foot up, rest it on your thigh. If this doesn't work for you, just find a comfortable way where you can hold onto your foot. And then using your hand, circle. You can even just circle your foot without using your hand if reaching your foot is difficult for you. So circle in one direction, nice full circles, and then the other direction. And then you can point, use your hand to bring your toes into a pointed position, and then use your hand to push your toes towards your shins and flex that foot. And then extend that leg again. Now, sitting up tall, we want our legs as comfortably straight as they can be. If you need a bend in your legs, no problem. Flex your toes towards your shins, sit up tall, reach your hands for the sky, and then as you exhale, reach up and forward and try to take hold, or you're aiming for your feet, but take hold of your feet or your ankles or your shins, wherever you can reach. And just lengthen your head towards your feet, not pulling or tugging, just seeing if your spine wants to lengthen a little bit deeper. Feel the stretch in the back of the legs, and then slowly slide your hands up your legs. Then we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. So take your time, find your own way onto your hands and knees. You want your knees to be directly beneath your hips, your wrists directly beneath your shoulders, and we want to spread our fingers nice and wide. This helps to take the strain out of the wrists. So from here, we're going to extend our right leg behind us. So straighten your right leg out behind you and put the ball of your foot and your toes on the ground, and then press your heel gently back and feel that nice calf stretch, and breathe. Breathing deeply into the tummy, and as you breathe out, the tummy empties. So the tummy expands as you breathe in, and it flattens as you breathe out. And then bring that knee down and just take a moment, allow the sensations in your leg to settle. And then we're going to extend the left leg out behind us, placing the toes and the ball of the foot on the mat, and then gently pressing that heel back. If you find you're moving your body back like I am, you just move your hands back so that your wrists are still beneath your shoulders. We want to keep the shoulders over the hands as the heel pushes back to extend into that calf. You probably also feel your quad working quite hard here. And then bring that knee back onto the mat and just take a moment to notice how you feel. Now we're just going to make our way slowly to standing. So place your feet on the mat and just slowly roll up the spine as you come up to standing. So bring your feet beneath your hip bones, so about 3 or 4 inches apart. Standing up tall, roll your shoulders back and down, lengthen your tailbone down at the back. Then, if you have good balance, you can bring your arms up overhead. Otherwise, you might keep your hands on your hips or bring your hands together at your heart. And we're just going to come up onto our tiptoes. So begin to lift your heels, coming up onto your tiptoes. So your hands might be here or they might be reaching up above your head, but keep your shoulders relaxed. Feel the strength in your calves and ankles as they hold you here. We're also testing our balance, working our core a little, and then slowly bring the heels down, bring your hands together, bring them down towards your heart, and then sink your hips down as far as you can go. Now you might stop about here, or if your balance, your ankles are strong, you might be able to come all the way down and then come back up, always going within your own range. Then up on the tiptoes, if you like. Your arms are coming up overhead, but the shoulders stay relaxed. Whoops. Doesn't matter if you wobble, if you fall down, come back up. And you can always hold onto a chair if this is tricky for you, or a shelf, or just something stable. Then slowly the heels come down, the hands come together. Press the hands together as they come towards the heart and begin to bend the knees and sink the hips back and down, sinking as low as you can go. Coming all the way down is tricky. Again, there's a balancing element here, so feel free to hold on to something. If you have the flexibility to get down, but not the balance, hold on to something until you get the balance. Press into the feet, come back up, and lift the arms overhead if you want. And breathe. Bring the hands together if they're above the head. Slowly lower the heels, press the hands together, and start to bend all the way down, or as far as is comfortable for you. And breathe. And then just look down to the mat, place your hands down, and then step your feet back a little and lift your hips to the sky. Press into your hands, and that brings your tummy and your chest towards your thighs for a downward facing dog. Then from here, you're going to bring your right foot forward between your hands. So you might be lifting your thigh to your ribs and stepping that foot forward in one step, or you might hop the foot forward a few times. Place your back knee down, come onto the top of the back foot. Your left hand is on the inside of your right foot. Turn your tummy onto your the thigh on the bent leg. You can place your hand on your hip behind you, or you can reach your arm to the sky and breathe. See if you can feel your tummy expand into your thigh as you breathe in, and pull away from your thigh as you breathe out. Now bring this hand back down towards the earth. Adjust your hands so they're shoulder width. Curl your back toes under and step back and lift your hips to downward facing dog. Pushing the chest towards the thigh, to make that V shape. Then we'll step the left foot forward between the hands. The back knee comes down. Come onto the top of the back foot. Place your hand closer to the inside of the foot. Lift the chest as you twist towards this thigh. Your hand can rest on your low back as you twist and look over your shoulder, or you can reach that hand back up or up towards the sky. And then exhale to bring that hand down, curl the back toes, and then step that back foot forward to meet the front foot. Then we're just going to widen our feet and have the heels pointing in. So your toes are about mat width, your heels point in a little, and if you can, sink your hips down between your hands. If you feel very wobbly, you can have your weight a little bit forward with your hands on the ground. You might hold onto a chair, or if you're comfortable, your elbows are pressing into the insides of your knees, your hands come together and you lift your chest. And breathe. And this is great for the hips, it's great for the digestive system, and it's also great for the ankles. You need quite a lot of ankle strength here to hold you in this position. So you may be up higher, you may be leaning forward, but we're working towards having the sit bones pointing down to the floor, the knees pointing up, and the chest lifting. And breathe. Then just bring your weight forward, place your hands down, and then you can bring your hands round behind you, sit down on the mat, and bend, have your knees bent, your feet on the mat, place your elbows down, and then lower down onto your back. Hug your knees up towards your chest. And then just begin to feel your low back firmly on the ground, your sacrum firmly on the ground. Begin to lift your feet towards the sky. You might reach a point where your legs straighten, or you might not. That's okay. But we do not want to pull the legs towards us and lift the hips up off the ground. Keep them firmly down. The feet are above the hips. And then just point your toes and flex and point and flex, and then draw some circles. So widen the legs a little bit so you have space to circle the ankles and circle the other way. Bend your knees, place your feet on the mat and extend one leg long and then the other. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears and relax the backs of the hands onto the mat, the palms towards the sky, fingers loosely curled. And we'll take 5 deep breaths here. When you're ready, bring your knees to your chest. Hug your knees and then roll onto one side. Place your top hand on the mat and guide yourself slowly and mindfully back up to a comfortable seated position. Feel your sit bones on the earth and your spine lengthen. Bring your hands together. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's practice, And if you would like to try more of my videos in future, please remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.